For a scrumptious bite that combines two fun party foods, I am making pizza, wait for it, Latkes. They are classic, crispy, golden brown potato pancakes topped with tomato sauce, fresh mozz, and dollops of herby pesto. They are so addictively good. I've already got my potatoes, garlic, and onion shredded and in my cheesecloth. And I'm doing a super crucial step for potato pancakes, which is that I've tossed everything in salt and allowed them to drain to get rid of any excess moisture. And now I'm just squeezing as much moisture as I can out of the potato. And this is gonna ultimately make for a perfectly crispy latke. Don't skimp on this step. I'll pour all this water out of the bowl. And then what's left here is this fun layer of potato starch. I'm gonna leave it in the bowl because when that gets incorporated in with the potato pancake mixture, it actually helps the crispiness. I'll dump in the potatoes. I'll squeeze in some lemon juice, which will add some nice brightness, as well as help prevent the potatoes from oxidizing. 4 whole eggs to bind these together. I know some people who only use egg whites in their latkes to make them even crispier, but I kind of like a little bit of richness from the yolk. My ideal latke is still a little bit soft and creamy on the inside. 2/3 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs gives some nice structure and helps bind everything together. Black pepper. And then because I'm pizzafying these latkes, I'll add in some pizza seasoning, dried oregano, and crushed red pepper. I love these two sprinkled on top of my pizza. I'll stir these around to thoroughly combine. Growing up, we usually used the box mix to make latkes. I was never that wild about them, and it wasn't until I tasted my ex-boyfriend's dad's recipe in college that I realized what a latke could taste like at the height of its potential. These things were hockey pucks that were golden and so crispy on the outside. They had this shell, and then on the inside, they were soft and creamy. They were so good. They just totally raised the bar for a latke in my mind. And a few years ago, I was looking for things to do with leftover latkes because I made so many of them. I started reheating them in the oven with pizza toppings on top, and they were so good. This is combined. This mixture looks great. I'll get my ice cream scoop and portion out heaping mounds into 1/4 inch of oil that I have preheating on medium-high, pressing down gently to compact them. I'll drop in a few more. I'll fry these for a few minutes per side until they're deeply golden and so crispy. I'll address the elephant in the room, which is to say that I pronounce it latke. If you're from Chicago or parts of Boston, you're probably nodding your head saying, like, yeah, of course, latkes. If you're from anywhere else in the country, you're probably like, what the heck are you even talking about? Because it's a latke. But listen, tomato, tomato, this is how I say it. I'm very sorry. Not sorry. They're all delicious no matter what. Let's just be friends. This one's ready to flip. I can see its golden brown edges all around. That is a perfect golden brown surface of a latke. This one's ready too. All right, flip this last one. Oh yeah, so golden. That's the gold standard, no pun intended. I'll get these out of the fryer now, and I'll transfer them to a wire rack, which allows them to stay crispy on the bottom. While they're still hot, I'll sprinkle with a little more salt, and then fry up a few more batches and be ready to pizzafy. Pizza time. You can top these however you want. The options are endless. I'm going classic with red sauce, and I'm not going all the way to the edge because I want to still have a lot of those crispy edges, as is the essence of a good latke. These will be like cute handheld pizzas. And mozzarella. I love fresh mozzarella. The way that it just drapes itself over the latke is gonna be so nice. This will get so melty with the crispiness of the latke. It's gonna be heaven. I'll get these into the oven at 450 degrees for about 7 minutes until the cheese is melty and splotchy. I'm dreaming of cheese pulls already. Smells like pizza. Smells like potatoes. My nose is a little confused, but I like it. Ooh. They're so melty, and I'm loving the splotches. I'll finish with some dollops of pesto, packed with flavor, so herby and fresh. Crushed red pepper, Loads of Parmesan, which not only adds that umami Parmesan flavor, it also seasons the mozzarella, which is so important since the mozzarella is so mild. And lastly, some torn fresh basil. I am loving the colors of these. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I'm diving in. Here I go. It's melty, it's herby from that pesto, it's crispy and salty. This is potato pizza perfection. I am making my brisket meatballs. They are tender morsels of fatty, rich meat slathered in a sweet barbecue sauce that makes your taste buds bounce. I'm starting with 1.5 pounds of ground brisket, which is quite a bit fattier than your typical ground beef, so you get more richness and melt in your mouth texture. I'll season it with 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. I'll sprinkle in a little onion powder for that slightly sweet flavor. Some chopped scallions. They lend that delicate onion flavor, as well as some really pretty pops of green. Some fresh thyme leaves for those earthy, herby notes. A bunch of black pepper. It's looking pretty already. I'll bind these together with a couple of eggs and 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs, which will allow these balls to hold nice moisture and have that great tender texture. A 1/4 cup of ketchup, inspired by the age-old Jewish tradition of slathering brisket in ketchup. A tablespoon of Dijon, that great, bright, zingy flavor. And then a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce brings everything together with its savory notes. Ah, it smells really good, especially the ketchup. I'll mix this up, and just like any meatball, I don't wanna overmix it. There's so much flavor in these meatballs. I'll roll this into balls. The donut balls were just a warm-up. Just about the size of golf balls. I'll get this onto my baking pan, keep on rolling, and then bake at 400 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes until they're golden all over. And in that time, I'll make my sauce. This sauce is darkly sweet from molasses and zippy and fun thanks to my one true love, next to mayonnaise and Nick, ketchup. I'll start with a cup of it right in my brazier. I love it so much. Nick hates ketchup, but he likes barbecue sauce, so just don't tell him that there's ketchup in barbecue sauce. 2 tablespoons of molasses. It's a nice dark contrast to the bright ketchup. 1/2 cup of brown sugar, which will caramelize and allow the sauce to glaze the meatballs so beautifully. 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. You gotta have something acidic to balance out all this sweetness. Tablespoon of Dijon. A tablespoon of Worcestershire. So a lot of the same ingredients that are in the meatballs as well. A little bit of hot sauce, and this can really just be to taste. I like a little bit of heat, but mostly I like the sweetness to shine through as the central mood of these meatballs. That is what I remember about the briskets growing up that I had. They were always super duper sweet in a really delicious way. A couple of good pinches of kosher salt and 1/2 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. This sauce will be super smooth. There won't be any chunks of chopped onion. I'll just whisk this together and simmer it for a couple of minutes until it's thick. Meatballs are such an ideal party food, not just because they're delicious and everybody loves them and they're easy to eat, but also because they're so easy to prep. You can make them fully in advance, keep them in the freezer, and then the day of the party, just dump them into a slow cooker from frozen along with the sauce and allow them to heat up. I did that for both Bernie and Ira's birthday parties this year. It makes the day of the party so easy. You have more time to do your hair and get the perfect outfit on. Sauce looks great. Let me get the balls. Those look good. They smell so meaty. I'll pile these right into the sauce. So bouncy. I'll fold these all together and simmer just for another couple of minutes so that sauce can caramelize and really glaze these balls. This is the smell of a good party. Those are some shiny balls. The last thing they need is a sprinkle of scallions. So pretty. Oh, this smell is calling my name. I've got fun toothpicks. Ding. Oh, how good does that look? The perfect big party bite. Dang, those truly just melt in your mouth. These are so awesome. I love tasting the thyme in there. It's so cozy. These are baller.